Oop, see it. Good evening, world. Just making sure you guys don't see the background because I want my video to be as professional as it can be, obviously. Evening, world. This is Ivan O'Mara here again. This is going to be another video. I'm going to be continuing my Lord of the Rings read along. I promise Lord of the Rings fans I will read Lord of the Rings today, as I don't want to procrastinate because I want to get through all of book one by the end of the month. Obviously, by the end of the month, I should be finished book one. Because if I read a good four pages a day per chapter, within 2-3 days, because most chapters in Lord of the Rings on average are good like 12 pages around there. They're 10, 11 pages around there. Most chapters are on average. There's some chapters that are a little longer. Some chapters are 20 pages. But if I read a good 4 pages a day, on average, I should be able to finish all of book one. So you got to bear with me, Lord of the Rings fans, as I am doing my very best here. The reason why the past few videos I didn't read Lord of the Rings is because I had so many things in my mind I want to talk about. And sometimes when I speak and when I'm in the zone, I have so many things in my mind. I end up not feeling like reading Lord of the Rings, obviously. So I thought for now on, do you guys prefer that I read Lord of the Rings first and then I babble on? That way I get it over with. Do you guys prefer that? Because I have 2.5 pages, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Lord of the Rings first. I know you guys love it when I babble on. It's a lot more interesting when Ivan babbles on, obviously. And talk about Sky Source and his personal life with VJ, all that stuff. But I know you Lord of the Rings fans also love when I read the book. And so what I'm going to do, I can babble on for a good like 10 minutes. And around 10 minutes, I'll read the 2.5 pages of Lord of the Rings. That way I get it over with. And I get the rest of the video I can babble on, which is good, obviously. I think I'm going to do that from now on. From now on, what I'm going to do is, when I start the video, I'm going to immediately delve into reading the book. Obviously, that way, because sometimes when I babble on for a long time, I'm in the zone. And I have so many things I want to speak about in my mind, and I end up, oh man, I don't want to read it anymore because I want to talk about this topic. And that's why from now on, what I'm going to do is, whenever I start each video, I'll babble on for a good like 10 minutes. Then every first part I will read what? I'll read Lord of the Rings. That way I get it over with, obviously. And then I can start babbling on and talk about other things. I only have 2.5 pages left and I am done. So it's not going to be a long read along today. A good 6-minute read along around there, 6-7 minute read along. And I'll be finishing up chapter 8. I'll be starting chapter 9 tomorrow, which is the sign of the prancing pony. 4 chapters left and I am done my Lord of the Rings read-along. Obviously, I'm going to keep saying this while the countdown's ticking. I already finished chapter 10. I am now on chapter 11. Volume 3, I went over a good like 10 pages today, 10, 11 pages today. I go over on average a good 10, 11, 12 pages a day, whatever it is. So my volume 3, each chapter on average is a good like 45 pages, 45, 50 pages on average each chapter on Microsoft Word. In book form, you're looking at like 70, 80 pages around there per chapter. But in Microsoft Word on my computer, each chapter in volume 3 is on average like 45, 50 pages. So they're long chapters, obviously. And so if I go through like 10, 12 pages a day within like 4 days, 4 or 5 days, I finish one chapter, obviously. Hence why I told you I'll be done going over my whole book at the end of the month, obviously. I've been fixing up the L typos, all that stuff. So whenever I spelled L, A-I-L, I changed it to A-L-E, obviously. I carefully went over my book, and I fixed those typos, obviously, which is good. Hence why I'm happy. In a way, I'm happy when I sent my file to the formatting company. I'm happy they sent me back they gave me back my money. Because I remember when I went over my book, I caught all these typos, like the word ale, all that stuff. Hence why I was able. Oh my god! Now that I got my money back, I can go over my book and fix my typos, obviously, which is good. After I go over my book, this is the last time I'm going over my book. I will not be going over my book again, as I went over my book already like 4 times already, 3-4 times. I went over my whole book. It's a lot of work. Reading 447 pages. because my book is 447 pages on Microsoft Word. Reading 447 pages is a lot of work, man. Going over 447 pages is a lot of work. I went over it. I went over my book like 3, 4 times already now. I am not going over it again. This is the final time I'm going over my book to fix up my typos. And after this, I am done because I'm getting worn out going over my book, man. I'm gonna give you a heads up though. If you're expecting my book to be as professional as this book here, you're gonna be disappointed. As Last Hope for Zanus is to get self-published. First of all, I didn't hire a professional formatting company. I didn't hire a professional proofreader. I have to do everything myself, and so my book will not be as professional as the what. If you're expecting it to be looks professional as Lord of the Rings, it's not going to look professional as Lord of the Rings. It'll be professional, obviously, but it's not going to be as professional as Lord of the Rings, obviously. And you're going to catch typos. I'm giving you a heads up, world. To all you Lord of the Rings nerds who can't stand typos, look, man, please keep in mind I have to do everything myself, and you're going to catch typos in my book. I'm giving you a heads up. You're guaranteed going to catch typos in my book. Most of my book's in pristine form, but you're going to catch typos in my book. You're also going to find the way I write my dialogue is a little bit weird. Obviously, when I write dialogues, I cut sections and that kind of stuff when I write dialogue. If you guys see what I'm saying, that's not really a grammar error. It's just a different style of grammar, pretty much. It's Ivan's style of grammar. It's not. I wouldn't categorize that as a grammatical error. But you're gonna catch typos in my book, guaranteed. Because I didn't hire a professional proofreader. Obviously, I couldn't afford. Either way, even if I could afford to hire a professional proofreader, because the doors are locked on me, I still have to do everything myself. As I have to do because the doors are completely locked on me. The staff families won't even let another company form my book or proofread my book. I have to do everything myself, obviously. Which is good because I don't have to worry about the copyright laws. As I told you, watch out for people who can go after you. You see what I'm saying here? Because these companies know my book is gonna sell what? Billions worldwide. They know that some people might come after you and want a piece of that pie, obviously. That's why I'm happy in a way. I'm happy in a way that I got my money back because you have to be aware of the copyright. I didn't really do any research on that company. You have to be aware of the copyright laws as people can go after you. Especially for someone like me, man. They know my book is gonna sell billions, hence there's a good chance some of these companies might even come after me. Hey man, I want a piece of that pie, like 0.001% or something of the pie or something like that. They're gonna want a piece of that pie, obviously, because they know my book will sell billions. See what I'm saying here? Just like you have to be careful about the Hollywood actors and Amazon. Do not let Hollywood actors dupe you. Do not let Amazon dupe you. You got to be careful about what the copyright laws for my book, obviously. You got to be careful about them. So it's not just what. I'll babble on for a bit and I'll start reading. It's not just the Hollywood actors who are sharks. It's not just Amazon who are sharks. The step families, the gatekeepers, are also fucking sharks too. As we live in a very, very greedy world, obviously. We live in a very, very greedy. The step families are very, very greedy people, obviously. They're very, very greedy people. They have hundreds. I don't know. My guess is I don't know how much money my family, VJ's family, have in the bank. I have the keys. You guys already know. But my guess, they have what? At least 200. If Jeff Bezos is worth $200 billion, and he's not even the gatekeeper, my guess is Jeff Bezos has what, 100 billion in his bank around there, 80 billion, 100 billion in his bank. If my family are gatekeepers, they have at least 150, 200 billion, 250 billion in their bank, man. That's how rich they are, obviously. Have you ever heard of the Federal Reserve? The private bankers who own the banks and stuff. The symbolism of that is the gatekeepers, obviously. My family and Vijay's family, they have their own like private bank. They're fucking big, man. They control all the finances around the world. They control everything. That's how big they are, man. They rule. That's why you're looking at something very, very scary for Ivan Amir, because you have no idea who I'm fighting. I'm fighting the most powerful men in the world, the people who control the banks. They have their own private bank. They control everything. They control all the finances around the world, obviously. My guess is how they make their money. They take a certain percentage of all the finances around the world. I don't know. They get like 2%. 2%. I don't know. They probably take like 2% of all the money coming in around the world. That's how the gatekeepers make their money, obviously. That's why they're so rich. They're worth like 200. My guess is they're worth close to $1 trillion. around there. 800, 500, 800, 900 billion around there. They're fucking rich. And they probably have a good like 250, even $300 billion in the bank. That's how rich they are. And that's why me and my wife are gonna be fucking shocked, man. Because my wife is gonna be like, holy shit, like you guys are this rich. You have hundreds of billions in your bank, you're the fucking gatekeepers, you're worth close to $1 trillion. And you're willing to you could have opened a door for me and you want to have me be a porn star that cost Matt Snyder's life, purposely cost Matt Snyder's life, and you have me pay the bills. My wife is fucking good. It's gonna be shocked, obviously. That's why she's running away with me, obviously. But it's not just the Hollywood actors who are sharks. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the Hollywood actors who are sharks. What? And Amazon, the Steph families who are the gatekeepers, the ultimate gatekeepers. Because there's many gatekeepers in this world, obviously. There's gatekeepers in every branch of business, but they're the ultimate gatekeepers. They're the big bosses. They're also sharks, as they're also going to try and get a piece of my royalties when they're not worth my royalties, obviously. Even though you're powerful and you own the financial system in the world, and you know what I'm saying, and you're very rich, because they're not the son of God. They're not the son of God. Nobody in this world is worth my royalties. You see what I'm saying here? And they know it. They know they're not worth my royalties because I'm that special. I'm that powerful. Like, you know, saying, yeah, you may be the gatekeeper and you may own the financial system in the world, but you did not create the universe. I created the universe. Hence, I'm the what? I'm the bigger what? I'm the bigger guy, man. No offense. I don't mean to be rude here. You know what I'm saying, VJ created the universe. She's my spirit, and VJ is the bigger. She's the bigger what? She's the bigger woman. Obviously, me and her are the bigger bosses. Obviously. Right? Hence why you gotta watch out for the sharks, as we live in a very, very greedy world, man. As I told you, Victoria Justice, have you ever noticed how all her movies are all flops? All of VJ's movies are all flops. I can babble on for a bit longer and I'll start reading. All of VJ's movies, you notice, are all flops. Obviously, I always wonder before I thought, oh my god, VJ can't sell a movie for shit. You know what I'm saying, her movies are all flops and all stuff. And I finally hit me. I'm like, oh my god. If VJ is N, why are all their movies flops? What's going on here? Why are all her music flops? Well, her music is not really flops. But why does it say she only sold like a couple $1 million for a single or something like that? When in reality, hundreds of millions of people around the world bought that, obviously. But the Steph family sabotaged the results and they paid her shitty money and they took all the money, obviously. Obviously, right? VJ's movies are obviously successful. Even her independent movies. When I mean even her independent movies are very successful. As the whole world watches it, obviously. The whole world's definitely watching that, hence it's very successful, obviously. But the step families have to what? They have to sabotage their stats. Let's act like no one cares about their movies, obviously, and they have to what? And they take all the money, man. And they pay her shitty money. So either way they want their, I know when Ivan's free, he's poor. So either way, they want their what? They want their full cake. Obviously, when Ivan's free, he's poor. They won't let him make any money through their system. Obviously, and even when VJ sells out and you have control over finances, you have nothing to worry about. The fact that VJ sold out, you have nothing to worry about. She's not going to steal your money because you control her finances. You still won't even let her be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, even $1 billion, because of your hatred. Obviously, they hate VJ so much, and they hate me and my wife so much, even though we're God and we deserve to be billionaires. They don't want me and her to be fucking filthy rich and be billionaires, even though we're God and we created this universe and we deserve to be billionaires. See what I'm saying here? Because the Steph family are fucking crazy, man. They're fucking crazy people, man. You know what I'm saying? As I told you, had the doors been open on VJ in Hollywood, VJ would be more successful. If you think all these Hollywood celebrities are successful, VJ would be more successful than all those people, man. She'd be more successful. When I mean more successful, she'd be more successful than guys like Will Smith, Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, Rihanna. VJ would be more successful than all those celebrities because she's N. She'd be a billionaire by now if the doors are open on her, obviously. Had VJ done big budget movies, her movies would have done billions of dollars. VJ can easily demand high salary. She can easily demand a $20 million salary and like 10% of the royalties easily. Her music had the doors had her stats not been sabotaged, and she did her music. Her music would what? Sell hundreds of millions of copies, man. Because VJ's N, she's God. The whole world's obviously gonna what? Purchase her stuff, obviously. She's not as big as me, but my point is because she's God, she'd be a billionaire too. Had the doors been open on VJ. And all the celebrities know it too. They all know it. Yeah. If the door's been open on VJ, VJ would be richer than all of us. She'd be a billionaire. She'd be a multi-billionaire. You know what I'm saying? But yet, what? VJ is sabotaging. They have her worth under $10 million, and she's a fucking survivor. Why? Because the gatekeepers, they're very selfish people. No matter what, they want their full cake. They're never gonna let me and her make our billions because they're fucking crazy people, man. And they know we're God too. And then all of a sudden, when I write my book, so you won't let me make money through your system. Fucking selfish. We won't let Ivan touch our money. We don't want Ivan making money through our system, obviously. And then even when VJ sells out, you won't even let her be a billionaire, even though you have control over her finances. You have nothing to worry about. You have control over her finances, and you still won't let her be a billionaire because you hate her so much. I can't stand VJ. She's fucking beautiful. She's God. I don't want her being a billionaire. I don't want her being worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I want her to keep her sabotaging, to keep her a survivor. You know what I'm saying? Sabotage her stats when she do all these shitty indie movies, all that stuff. And they take all the money, obviously. Right? That's how evil they are. Right? So you see the double standards, obviously. They want their full cake. And all of a sudden, after locking all the doors on me, right, and causing this mess, locking all the doors on my wife completely. So either way, you lock the doors on both of us. When Ivan's free, the doors are locked on him. When VJ sells, the doors are locked on her too, obviously. So even though she's rich, she's not as rich as she should be. She's a fucking survivor, man. She probably has, I don't know, $1,500,000 in the bank or something like that. $900,000 in the bank. She's a fucking survivor. So, my point is, VJ should be a multi-billionaire by now. Had the doors been opened up, but they won't let her be a multi-billionaire because they're fucking evil people, obviously. They you know what I'm saying? They don't want me and VJ being rich like them. They don't want us being billionaires. They don't want us being worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They want to keep us worth under, I don't know, $10 million because they're fucking selfish people, obviously. And all of a sudden, when I write my own book, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into my own book. Obviously, you see their line of thinking. Obviously, you won't let me touch your money through your system. You won't let my wife touch your money, even when she sells out. You have control over finances. You have nothing to worry about. You still won't even let her be rich, be a billionaire, right? Multi-billionaire. And all of a sudden, when I write my own book, obviously, the gatekeepers, the stepfathers suddenly think they have the right to take my money when they're not even worth my royalties, and they didn't write my book. You see what I'm saying here? You see how selfish they are? So when Ivan writes his own book, all of a sudden they see that as what they. In other words, the book that I wrote, they see that as their money because they're that crazy people. When it's not their money, you didn't write my book, and you're not even worth my royalties, man. You're not the son of God. You know what I'm saying? You may be the gatekeeper, but you're not the son of God. You didn't create. You may be control the finances around the world, but I'm the one controlling the fucking universe, man. Hence, I'm the what? I'm the bigger guy. I'm the bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? And now you're not the son of God, and no one in this planet is worth my royalties, and they know it. No one in this planet is worth my royalties. Just like I'm not supposed to be worth your money, obviously. You won't let me make money through your system. You're also not worth my money too, obviously. So they see me they see me making money through their system as stealing money, right? Stealing money, even though I created the universe. And at the same time, they also try to steal my money by taking control of my novel. So you see the double standards, obviously. And that's why I'm not going to do like that. I know my wife sold out and she's a fucking survivor. She's doing all these shitty indie movies. She's a fucking porn star. They have her worth under like $10 million. She probably has like a couple million in her bank. I don't know, 1.5, a million, 900,000, 2 million in her bank. She's a fucking survivor. She's rich, but she's a fucking survivor. And you think after doing that to my wife, I'm gonna let you do it like that, man. You think I'm stupid? You think I'm gonna have me sell and have you take all my money and have you do that? No way, I'm not just do it like that. I know if I sold out, me and my wife's career, guaranteed. Maybe the doors might be open on us, but I guaranteed if I sold out, me and my wife's careers would be sabotaged. Me and her would be doing shitty indie movies. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee if I sold out, me and my wife would be worth, I don't know, a couple dozen $1 million or something like that. Wouldn't be worth that much because the stepfathers would take all our money. The fact that they did that to my wife when she sold out, what makes you think you're not going to do that to me when I sold out? I'm not fucking stupid, man. And because I wrote my own book and I have the keys, I don't have to sell to any gatekeeper. And because I have the keys, I can make my billions, obviously. I can make my billions, and I have my financial control. Hence, they're true. The step family is true. VJ's family, their true nature is going to show. You're looking at something scary. Their true nature is going to show once I make this final announcement, And my step family, their true nature is going to show when I make this announcement because they now know I own the rights to my book. I wrote the best finance novel ever. At the same time, I have the keys. Since I'm going to make my billion, I can make my billions, obviously, for me and my wife. And they don't want me. They don't want me being. The main reasons they don't want me to be my wife, obviously, because they're fucking crazy. And another reason is they don't want me having. They don't want me making my billions. They don't want me having financial control. They want to have control over my finances when they're not even worth my royalties. They don't deserve to have control over my finances. At the same time, they're not worth my royalties because they're not the son of God. They did not create this universe. And they don't deserve to control my finances. And they don't deserve to what? They don't deserve to what? To what? They don't deserve to control my finances. They don't deserve to what? Take my royalties. See what I'm saying? Because nobody in this planet's with my royalties. You may give me death threats. It may be you're looking at something fucking scary. You may even give me death threats. You look, man. Yeah, I know dying is fucking scary, but I'm fucking God. I have power over death. I created the universe. I'm the source of life itself. Hence, I have power over death. I'd rather be in that room terrified. 1 second, I am gone. The next second, 1 minute later, all I have to do is just wake up 1 minute later, and I get death over with. As dying, because when you die, you're unconscious. So all I have to do is just wake up 1 minute later in the hospital. It's like, when you sleep, 1 second you pass out, the next second you wake up. That's what it's like to die for. That's what it's going to be like for me to die. 1 second I'm in that room, which is very, very horrific, obviously. I'm going to be terrified, obviously. I'm going to cry my eyes out. I close my eyes, and I'm gone. 1 second, 1 minute later, I wake up, and I get my wife all fresh, and I get my financial control, obviously. And I get to be a multi-billionaire. I don't have to worry about sabotage, any of that stuff. I now have financial control, and because I wrote my own book, it's my money, and I get to make billions for me and my wife, obviously. Before I continue babbling on, I'm going to read the remaining 2 pages, as promised, of Lord of the Rings. I know you guys are mad. Ivan, like, why can't you just continue babbling on? Look, man, I also care about the Lord of the Rings fans. I want to finish my Lord of the Rings read. I only have 2.5 pages of reading today, and I'll babble on for the rest of the video. Okay? Right. The land was now open and fairly level, and they quickened their pace. But the sun was already sinking low when at last they saw a line of tall trees ahead, and they knew that they had come back to the road after many unexpected adventures. They galloped their ponies over the last furlongs, and halted under the log shadows of the trees. They were on top of a sloping bank on the road, now dim as evening drew on, wound away below them. At this point it ran nearly from south, west, to northeast. And on their right, it fell quickly down into a wide hollow. It was rutted and bore many signs of the recent heavy rain. There were pools and potholes full of water. They rolled down the bank and looked up and down. There was nothing to be seen. Well, here we go again at last, said Frodo. I suppose we haven't lost more than 2 days by my shortcut through the forest, but perhaps the delay will prove useful. It may have put them off our trail. The others looked at him. The shadow of the fear of the Black Riders came suddenly over them again. Ever since they had entered the forest, he had thought chiefly of getting back to the road. Only now, when it lay beneath their feet, did they remember the danger which pursued them, and was more than likely to be lying in wait for them upon the road itself. They looked anxiously back towards the setting sun, but the road was brown and empty. Do you think, asked Pippin hesitatingly, do you think we may be pursued tonight? No, I hope not tonight, answered Tom Bombadil, nor perhaps next day. But do not trust my guess, for I cannot tell for certain. Out my east my knowledge fails. Tom is not a master of riders from the Black Land far beyond his country. All the same, the hobbits wished he was coming with them. They felt that he would know how to deal with the Black Riders, if anyone did. So Frodo and them were like, hey, can Tom Bombadil handle the riders and all that stuff? You know what I'm saying? They would soon now be going forward onto the lands, wholly strange to them, and beyond all but the most vague and distant legends of the Shire. In the gathering, I only have 1.5 pages here and I am done. I'll babble on for the rest of the video. Twilight they longed for home. A deep loneliness and sense of loss was on them. They stood silent, reluctant to make the final parting, and only slowly became aware that Tom was wishing them farewell, and telling them to have good heart and to ride on till dark without halting. Tom will give you 2 advice till this day is over. After that, your own luck must go with you and guide you. 4 miles along the road, you'll come upon a village, under Bree Hill. So Frodo and them are arriving to the Prancing Pony, with doors looking eastward. There you'll find an old inn that is called the Prancing Pony. Barleyman Buttermore is the worthy keeper. Yeah, that is the manager that they meet. Barleyman Buttermore is the worthy keeper. Yeah, that's the manager at the inn. There you can stay the night, and afterwards the morning will speed you upon your way. Be bold but wary, keep up your merry hearts, and ride to meet your fortune. They beg him to come at least as far as the inn. So after Tom rescues them from the Barrow Downs, he journeys with them for a little bit, and after that he wishes them farewell. Okay, guys, okay, hobbits, you're gonna when you keep journeying, you're gonna ride to this place called Bree. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make sure you go to this inn, the Prancing Pony, and you'll meet the manager at the inn, Barleyman Butterbur, whatever his name is. Right? They beg him to come at least. So the hobbits want him to come with them as far as the inn, obviously, right? And drink once more with him. And he laughed and refused, saying, "Tom's country ends here. He will not pass the borders. Tom has his house to mind, and Goldberry is waiting." Then he turned and tossed up his hat, leaped on Lumpkin's back, and rode up over the bank and away, singing into the dust. The hobbits climbed up and watched him until he was out of sight. "I'm sorry to take leave of Master Bombadil," said Sam. "He's a caution and no mistake. I reckon we may go a good deal further, and see not better nor queerer. But I won't deny I'll be glad to see this prancing pony he spoke of. I hope it'll be like the Green Dragon away back home. What sort of folk are they in Bree?" "There are hobbits in Bree," said Mary, "as well as big folk, I dare say it. It'll be home-like, though. The pony is a good inn by all accounts. My people ride out there." "My people ride out there, and again, now and again. It may be all we could wish," said Frodo, "but it's outside the Shire all the time, all the same. Don't make yourself too much at home. Please remember, all of you, that the name of Baggins must not be mentioned. I am Underhill, if any must begin." So remember how in the movie, Gandalf says, "Leave the name of Baggins behind you," obviously. Frodo, is it Frodo? Who's talking here? Give me a second. Yeah, Frodo is saying, "Look, when we go to Bree, we cannot use the name of Baggins. Let's use a fake. Let's use a fake identity, obviously, right? Home, please remember, all of you, that the name of Baggins must not be mentioned. I am Mr. Underhill, if any name must be given." They now mounted their ponies and rode off. So Peter Jackson took this, and had Gandalf say the line. So make sure the name of Baggins must be left behind you. Whereas in the book, Frodo decides to what? Frodo decides to, I believe, does Gandalf tell Frodo to give a fake name too? I don't remember. Frodo in the book decides to use the name Mr. Arnold, obviously. If ain't else be given. They now mounted their ponies and rode off silently into the evening. Darkness came down quickly as they plodded slowly downhill and up again, until at last they saw lights twinkling some distance ahead. Before them rose Bree Hill bearing the way, a dark mass against misty stars, and under its western flank nestled a large village. Towards it they hurried, desiring only to find a fire and a door between them and the night. That ends chapter 8, and I am now on chapter 9, at the sign of the Prancing Pony. So pretty much what we read so far. So once Tom Bombadil rescues the hobbits from the Barrow Downs, he commands the Barrow Wights enchantment spell, whatever it is, right? He rescues them. He journeys with them on his horse towards what? Towards Bree, and he tells the hobbits, "Hey, when you keep journeying further ahead, you're gonna what? You're gonna see this city, Bree, obviously, this land Bree, whatever it is, and make sure you go to the Prancing Pony Inn, where you'll meet the manager of the inn." And the hobbits obviously want Tom Bombadil to come with them, and Tom Bombadil says, "No, man, this is it. You know what I'm saying? I cannot leave the borders. I must go back home. My Goldberry, my daughter, whatever it is waiting." I don't know if Goldberry is his daughter or his wife. It doesn't really say it in the book. I believe it's his daughter. Goldberry, his beautiful daughter, whatever it is, or all I'm going to say is Goldberry is waiting at his house, obviously. And that ends what I've read so far for chapter 8. And now moving on to chapter 9, when Frodo and them are now what? Arriving to the Prancing Pony. And I'll read 4 pages tomorrow. What I'll do from now on, I will read the book at the beginning of the video to get it over with. That way, I want to read the book at the beginning. That way, you guys are more focused. Focus on the book. Because if I babble on for a long time, you guys are going to be like, once I start reading the book, you guys are going to be like, "Oh man, I wish Ivan could babble on for longer." And you lose a bit of focus when I read the book. That's why I'm going to read the book from now on, at the beginning of each video. That way I get it over with and I can just babble on for the rest of the video. It's much better that way. Because I hate babbling on and I have so much to say in my mind. At the same time, I got to stress how much time I have left to read my book. Hence why I want to just get it over with at the beginning of each video here, obviously. Right, so I hope you Lord of the Rings fans enjoy my Lord of the Rings read-along, obviously. And I'm gonna keep saying this, well, the countdown's ticking, man. As once I finish my Lord of the Rings read-along and I'm ready to make that final announcement, once I make that final announcement, Ivan O'Mara is officially signing up for good. I'm not making any more videos on my Sabdos channel. I'm going to enjoy myself for a good couple days, have a smoke, take a nice walk. And I'm gonna go upstairs bravely and I'm gonna tell my family, my step family, hey guys, I'm done my book. I want to get my book self-published. I have to tell them that. Hey guys, I'm done my book. I want to get my book self-published. I need your help. I need their help because they're the gatekeepers. I know they lock the doors on me. And for me to make my money, they have to unlock the gates, obviously. But before they can unlock the gates, I have to what? I have to fight them, obviously. I have to pay this fee and suffer death to save my wife, obviously. That's the only way they're unlocked. The only way they're going to unlock the gates is if I pay this fee, obviously. The reason why they want me paying this fee is because there's two reasons. One, they want to cause mess in my life. There's three reasons. The first reason is what? Everyone around the world wants to see me have sex. That's the main reason, obviously. The second reason is you guys want to purposely cause mess in VJ's life, because you guys are wicked people, obviously. You want my relationship. You want to cause horror and chaos in my relationship, obviously, right? At the same time, I also have to pay them. Before you can make your money off your book, you have to pay us, obviously. The gatekeepers want to get paid, obviously. And they know if I pay, how can we make a lot of money from Ivan? Well, if you have him be a porn star and we film it and we sell it online, we're going to make tens of billions. Because the whole world's watching that, they're going to make billions of dollars off my porn fee, obviously. You're looking at, like, I don't know, tens of billions of dollars of my porn fee. They're going to make a lot of money off my porn fee. That's why they want me to pay this fee, obviously. The main reason they want me to pay this fee is not because of the money. The main reason is because you guys want to see me have sex. I'm not fucking stupid, man. Because every night when I dream I black out the screen, you want me to pay this fee so you can see me have sex. Because you guys are fucking crazy people, obviously. As the money is just an excuse. The main reason why they're doing this to me is they don't want me being with my wife, man. That's the what. That's what this whole game is really about. We don't want either of each being together. Yeah, the money is just a fucking excuse, obviously. Yeah, they don't want me half out of control. They don't want me and her being brothers because they hate us and all that stuff. But the main reason is they don't want me and her being together. Because the step families are fucking crazy. Hence why they separate me and her for what? For almost 3 decades now. Because you guys are fucking crazy people, obviously. You're messed up psychopaths. Show my cat off here.